Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. Yesterday, as always on the third Monday in January, the United States celebrated Martin Luther King Day. And I was reminded of an incident that he describes when he was participating and leading the boycott of buses in Montgomery, Alabama, protesting against the segregation on the buses. And he describes how on one occasion he'd had a really bad week, with including being arrested and having death threats, and he felt that the protest, the campaign was not gaining the momentum, having the result that he wanted, and he felt really, really low. But he had to get up and make a speech at a meeting one Monday night, and he tried to come over really strong and confident and to encourage the others. But afterwards, Mother Pollard, one of his allies in the campaign, came up to him and said, there's something wrong, son. You didn't speak strong tonight. And he said, oh, no, everything's fine. And she said, no, it's not. No, it's not, she said. She said, but what you need to know is we're all going to be with you. And even if we're not with you, God is going to take care of you. And I think for him that was profoundly encouraging because of his deep faith. He just needed reminding of it. And I think for everybody who has a faith in God, to be reminded of God's constant care and total commitment to us is always encouraging and can always lift us out of a sense of despair and hopelessness. But for people who are not of that faith or who find that kind of trust difficult, I think there are other things to be had and learnt from this episode. Looking at it from Mother Pollard's point of view, I think we need to notice how she didn't give in when Martin Luther King protested that actually he was fine. She trusted her instincts about him, and then proceeded to tell him a truth that he already knew. He knew perfectly well in his head that God would take care of him. That was his lifelong belief. But he just needed to be told that truth by somebody else in that moment. And I think sometimes it's true of us that we need to be to trust our intuition if we feel somebody we love needs encouragement and support. And sometimes telling them something true that they already know, but need to be reminded of, can be helpful. Often just to tell them how we feel about them can be all that's needed to help them through their time of trouble. And looking at it from Martin Luther King's point of view, I think we can learn that it isn't always a helpful thing to do, to hide your feelings. I mean, one can understand why he needed to get up in public and be strong. But he clearly had the kind of relationship with Mother Pollard where he could immediately have said, no, you're quite right. And sometimes we just need to admit to people that we're struggling, because in that admission we open ourselves to being helped. So today, as we remember Martin Luther King and his powerful work for the black people of America and of the whole world, we realise that he was just a fallible human being like the rest of us. And like the rest of us, needs the encouragement and love of people around us.